There is absolutely no doubt that we have had the greatest season in Fulham Football Club history. Our fourth place finish in the Premier League is our best ever. Previously, it was seventh place. We have also, in our 150 plus year history, only made the FA Cup final twice. One of those times is this year. It's Fulham versus Arsenal, a packed house at Wembley, and a chance at glory. Welcome back, everyone, to episode number 82 of Bottom to the Top. I'm Mr. Cellophane. How are you? We are finishing up our fourth season, our third full season, but fourth season overall with Fulham Football Club. We've already taken fourth place in the Premier League, a shot in the Champions League for next season. And for the first time since 1975, Fulham is vying for an FA Cup trophy. Now we're taking on Arsenal, a team that we did finally manage to beat in the league 1-0 earlier this year. The team that knocked us out of the semifinals in this very competition 2 seasons ago. And we are making 0 changes to our squad to start things off. It's going to be Vladan Kovacevic in goal, Ivan Fresneda as our right back, Alex Guest on the left-hand side. In the middle will be Bichiabu and Marvin Akahomen. A midfield 3 of Craig Ross, who is already committed to moving to Sevilla on July the 1st for a £30 million fee. We're hoping to send him out with a trophy. He will be behind Marco Morales and Tom Burford. Thales Magno and Federico Guerrero are going to be on the wings in support of Emmanuel Omega. Now, Omega has not scored in his last 4 matches. He has not found the back of the net since potting 2 against Manchester United in the league a number of weeks ago. We do have our 19-year-old wonderkid striker, Tony Suarez, on the bench, and this is not what you want to see this early on in the match. Federico Guerrero picking up an injury in the 2nd minute. It's a foot injury in the final match of the season. Toshimitsu Endo, who has been just absolutely fantastic, is going to have to come in and replace him very early on in this match. Guerrero going out. Hopefully that does not adversely affect our chances too much. We have had the run of play in the first 15 minutes or so of this match. First shot of the game going Fulham's way. Possession pretty evenly split between the two sides, although starting to tilt in the way of the Cottagers. There are 90,000 on hand. Michael Salisbury is the referee in the middle of the pitch. 35 minutes in, and Arsenal doing nothing with the ball so far, even though they have enjoyed the majority of the possession. And as soon as I say that, Florian Wirtz bringing it up, stolen away by Alex Guest, will send it forward. Omega tracks it down along the near sideline, moves it inside, finds Magno across for Endo with a long shot, and he's not going to be able to get that one on target, just leaning back a little bit too much. 3 minutes added on at the end of the first half. 2 of them have already gone by. Florian Wirtz once again knocked away by Guest. Magno moving it to his right foot, carrying it inside, flipping it toward Endo. Guindo trying to clear it. Endo getting it back. Out for Ross. Burford with it. Turns. Magno in. He shoots. He scores, but the flag is up along the far sideline. So VAR is going to review and see if this goal is going to count or not. And it will not. We thought we may have gotten the go-ahead goal late on in this first half, but Magno just straying offside by the smallest of margins, and his goal is going to be called back. So the only 3 official shots of the match so far have gone Fulham's way. Even though Arsenal has had more of the ball, we have been putting the pressure on. Still no score after 45, but things are looking pretty good for the Cottagers. And as I say that, I know I'm just setting myself up for FM disappointment. With all that being said, we are still plowing ahead with as much optimism as we can possibly muster, building up the team During the halftime team talk, making 0 changes. And through the first 10 minutes of the second half, it is still all Fulham Football Club as far as the shots on goal are concerned. And now a final third throw-in. Fresneda in for Tom Burford. Sends it in the middle. He's got Ross playing it across. Morales almost picked by Odegaard. Morales staying with it. His shot from 23 yards out is going to sail over the crossbar. However, 65 minutes have been played. All Fulham offensively. We've only managed, though, 1 shot on target. Arsenal has not yet taken a shot on goal at all. And as we tick towards 15 minutes remaining in this match, we are going to bring in Tony Soiree to lead the line. Talis Magno not having the greatest match. Omari Kellyman to come in. We will swap him. Kellyman will be on the right-hand side. Toshimitsu Endo will be on the left. Tom Burford, very tired, very nervous, will be replaced by Kim Young-suk as we make our second, third, and fourth changes of the match. Of course, Guerrero going off with that early injury necessitated a very early switch. And so far, with just a couple of minutes left in the original 90, Fulham with the 9 shots, 10 shots now on goal. Arsenal finally mustering up their first shot in the 91st minute. 3 added on, and they are going to go by the wayside. Still no score after the original 90. We are headed to extra time at Wembley. And we will be starting the final 30 minutes, obviously split into 2 15-minute frames with the same personnel. From the dead ball, Saliba looking to get it started. He's got Declan Rice, Rafael Luis, Odegaard playing it through, Martinelli, Krupi Jr. in with the goal, but the flag is up, and that one should be coming back. It looked like Krupi Jr. was offside from the get-go, and the referee's arm is up to confirm what we already knew. The goal will not count. Yeah, he was offside long before Martinelli even touched that ball. Some tired legs out on the pitch for both sides. We've played 100 minutes of football. Shots on goal, 12-4 in favor of Fulham. Fulham managing to get 6 on target so far, and a corner kick from Morales looking to send it in. Bichiabu, Docris making the save, pushing it behind and wide for another corner. Morales again to deliver the outswinger, looking near post. Rafael Luis trying to clear it. Havertz will finally do so. Kim Young-suk getting it back and sending it forward quickly, but we are going to hit the halftime of extra time. 15 minutes left to play. Please do not make this go to a penalty shootout. I am begging you. Because that is a possibility, however, we are going to make a change that is going to benefit us in the shootout if necessary. Antonio Blanco, one of our best free kick, penalty kick takers, he is coming on to the pitch. We are also going to make another change. Alex Guest is going to come out of the match, and Harvey Vale will take his spot. That is 6 total changes. We have no more, and we are looking to start the final frame of extra time. 10 minutes remaining in this match. Fresneda stealing it from Ito. Kim Young-suk sending it to Endo. He's got plenty of space up that left side. Endo, can he turn on the Jets? He will play it in for Soiree. Knocked off the ball. Kim Young-suk, though, picks it up and hits the post. Goal kick, Arsenal. That was a chance for us to put this one away. Harvey Vale throwing it in. Ross turning it over to Krupi Jr. Back for Maldonado. Arsenal is buzzing. Havertz flipping it for Martinelli with the circus kick. Kovacevic getting his hand on it and knocking it out behind. Martinelli ultimately, though, ruled offside. That would have been the goal of the cup, and I would have been proud to have called that, even though it wasn't in our favor. And my move to bring Blanco in for the penalty kicks, not backfiring, but he is out with an injury, and I don't think I can replace him. I cannot. No more substitutions can be brought on. I wonder how this will affect the penalty kicks, but the minute added on at the end of extra time is going to come and go. We were down to 10 men, and we have to set up our penalty kickers. We are going to go with Harvey Vale, We're going to go with Craig Ross, Toshimitsu Endo. Not really the greatest penalty kickers, but look at the composure that our team has. Kellyman and Tony Soare will take number 5. He's got fantastic finishing. Hopefully it doesn't come down to that. Kim Young-suk will go in there, followed by Akahomen, Bichi Abu, Fresneda, and finally Vladan Kovacevic. We only have 10 players that are options in this. Good luck out there. We're going to need it. Maybe that wasn't the team talk I should have given. So we are in the penalty kick shootout. Arsenal's going first. Martin Odegaard steps up and Kovacevic comes up even larger. Arsenal unable to score on their initial attempt. Harvey Vale in, shooting, beating Docre. Docre did go in the right direction, but not far enough. It's 1-0 Fulham. Gabriel Martinelli, the right footer, in. Kovacevic, save made by Vladan Kovacevic. Now would be a perfect time to say that we decided with his performances at the end of this season, Kovacevic has been offered a new 1-year contract. Craig Ross putting his in, 2-0 Fulham. Now, he failed to get a work permit, but we had 4 ESC slots available. We allocated one to him. Vladan Kovacevic is going to be our backup goalkeeper for yet another year. Arsenal successful on their 3rd try from Declan Rice. Endo is in, and he gets Docres to guess correctly, but Docres could not make that stop. 3-1 Fulham. Kovacevic stops William Saliba. It's over. If he cannot, and we score our 4th, we are going to hoist the FA Cup. Saliba shooting and beating Kovacevic top corner. Kovacevic thought he might have gotten over in time, but Saliba with a absolutely brilliant delivery. Docres to take his spot in the goal. One potentially final time in this match. The fans are on their feet. Omari Kellyman steps up, shoots, and Docres makes the save. You must be kidding me. We move to round 5. Krupi Jr. Can he beat Vladan Kovacevic? Does Kovacevic have a 3rd miracle in his pocket in this FA Cup final shootout? He does not. Krupi Jr. slots it home. Arsenal has pulled even 3-3, and it's going to be up to the 19-year-old Tony Soare. Soare has played a couple of matches for the team, mostly in this very competition. He helped lead the U18s to victory, and he beats Docres, and he's going to lead the senior team to victory in the FA Cup. Tony Soare putting it home. Fulham wins 4-3 on penalties. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The trophy lift. Tom Burford shaking the hand of the UEFA official, the FA official, whoever's in charge. Trophy handed over. There's Nick Bottom waiting there. It's the 2nd piece of hardware that we have won in our journey, and this is by far the biggest. The FA Cup will live for the next year at Craven Cottage. Confetti falling down, the flares going, fireworks all over the place, and the team taking a celebratory lap around a packed Wembley Stadium. I could not be happier for this team. We couldn't do it in 90 minutes. We couldn't do it in 120. It took penalty shootouts and a massive performance by Vladan Kovacevic to win this game. Dixon Docres, though, for Arsenal, earned the player of the match. Okay. The twisted ankle suffered in the 3rd minute of the FA Cup final is going to keep Federico Guerrero out for 4 weeks. Now, obviously, that's not going to affect us at Fulham and his club because we're not back in action until we hit training camp sometime in July. However, Argentina does have group stage play in the Copa America that may be in jeopardy from this injury. Would be a shame, too, because he's already scored 3 goals in 8 international caps for his country's senior team. Meanwhile, remember way back when we signed our new contract and part of the objectives for the next 5 years was to win a domestic cup? Well, 4 years ahead of schedule. Not too shabby. And how about that? Nick Bottom has been inducted into the Greece Hall of Fame. And honestly, I never thought I was going to have to pay these out. I originally threw them in as contract enticers, but Marvin Akahoman, Ivan Fresneda, Federico Guerrero, and Tom Burford each taken home a little bit of extra scratch after winning the FA Cup. He knew I was talking about him, didn't he? We are trying desperately just to get to the season wrap-up, but Marco Morales has come to our door, knocked on it, and said, hey, I'm outperforming my contract. I think I want a new deal. He's got 2 years left on his current contract, making $72,000 this year. Already has a built-in 10% wage increase, which would take him just in the neighborhood of $80,000. He's worth 110 to 124 million. We got him for 8.25 from Atlas, but he's really, really good, isn't he? I was talking about the key passes. A little volatile in his media handling style. Fairly determined personality, though. We love to see that. He has made us have one of the absolute best midfields out there. 2 goals, 9 assists on this year in the league. Added another one in the FA Cup. 703 rating. He wants probably, because he's going to want, I already know he's going to want a release clause, which is going to be less than his current value. He's going to want us to win a cup next year, like we just won you a cup. So he's probably going to be asking for the 150,000 range. We are going to have more room in the wage budget. I don't think Teles Magno is going to be coming back. He'll be 30 next year. While a very solid player for us on loan from Man U, he can probably fill that role cheaper, especially with the way Endo came up toward the end of the season. Yes, it was primarily off of the bench, but his crossing ability has been fantastic, and he has shown a tremendous amount of resilience on the defensive end of the ball. So tough choices to come this summer. I think we're going to put this conversation off just for a little bit. Let's step back, regroup, and figure things out. And there it is, the FA Cup. We've hit our end of season review for the 2031-2032 season. Our signing of the season was Afonso Moutinho. 38 million from Manchester City, primarily coming off of the bench in the final 12 matches of the year. 4 goals and 1 assist in the 703 rating. Not bad. Not bad at all. Talish Magno coming in from Manchester United. We paid quite a bit to get him in on loan, and he did not disappoint. 16 starts, 5 goals, 4 assists, and a 7.19 rating. FD, we're just going to call him FD. FD Tsokos from Panathinaikos, 8.25 million. 5 appearances for the big club, spent most of his time in our youth system. Did add 1 goal and a pair of assists, primarily in the FA Cup in the earlier rounds. Played very well for us. Emmanuel Omega, 58 million. In my opinion, worth every penny. 14 goals, 6 assists. I will take 20 goal contributions from anybody. We got him from Burnley. Bichi Abu from Sheffield United, 29 million. Very solid in the back. 4 goal contributions. 3 goals from the center back position, obviously coming off of set pieces. Made 40 starts, 41 overall appearances. Omari Kellyman was very good for us off of the bench. Cost us a pretty penny, though. 26.5 million. Wasn't sure how much playing time he was going to get. Honestly, not nearly as much as we thought he would. 24 overall appearances. Did add, though, 5 goals and 1 assist. And Tony Soiree picked him up for £3 million. He will be worth every single penny. Had 1 senior goal, also capped off the FA Cup win with a beautifully delivered penalty. 5 overall appearances for Fulham. Ivano Di Jacobi went out for $4.2 million to Cardiff. Ian Sterling on loan for $34,500 to Porto. Reece Williams we finally sold for $9 million. Daria Conde They triggered his release clause, $43 million, before the season even began. Daniel Juarez, remember him? It was just this year we sold him for $7.5 million. The other major outgoing was Melvin Costa. He only made 10 total appearances for Newcastle, scored 1 goal for them, did not play very well. I bet they are regretting spending that $72 million. And Gabriel Amaya went to Burnley, who just got relegated to the Championship. They gave us $23 million for the pleasure. 2 goals for him in 12 appearances. Continued to not play very well. One of those 2 goals came against us in his Burnley debut. Our best ever finish in the Premier League. 4th place, good for the UEFA Champions League, 74 points. We were 14 points behind the eventual champion Arsenal, who we beat in the FA Cup final, which means we beat Arsenal 2 of the 3 times we faced them this year. Almost a full house all season long. Our top goal scorer was Emmanuel Omega. The FA Cup, as you know, we won the whole damn thing, only giving up a single goal in the tournament. 3-0 win over Crawley Town, 2-0 on the road at Tranmere Rovers. We beat Bristol City 2-0. We did cede that 1 goal to Tottenham Hotspur, but still beat them 2-1. We shut out Everton 2-0, and we blanked Arsenal, keeping them to only 3 shots on goal in the entire match. Didn't do as well in the Carabao Cup. Close wins over Torquay and Carlisle before we were finally beaten on the road at Old Trafford by Man U. 2-1 in the 4th round, which I'm pretty sure was further than we got the year before. Our biggest win came in the first episode of the season. It was that 5-0 drubbing over Manchester City. The match to remember, a 2-0 victory, a pair of goals for Emmanuel Omega in the second half to power us past Newcastle on the road. And the goal of the season belonged to Federico Guerrero. And it came in our last match of 2030. Guerrero picking out the top corner, beating Bazunu in the 79th minute against Southampton to eke out a 1-1 draw at Craven Cottage just before the new year. Even though we lost money, overall we had a pretty good financial year from the income perspective. About $9 million more in sponsorship, $1 million more in corporate and hospitality, about $19 million more in competition prize money, and a little bit more in the match day commercial and retail. Our broadcast revenue was down by about $6 million, however, but overall a net gain. Nearly £4.5 million worth of merchandise sales, non-domestic sales accounting for $1.73 million of that total. We sold 40,000 shirts. Our top sellers being Tom Burford, Endo, Federico Guerrero, Marco Morales, and Emmanuel Omega. We pretty much knew that Omega was going to be adding to our coffers by adding him to our team. Only one surprise in the top 11 of the year, and that is the inclusion of Melvin Costa and the exclusion of Federico Guerrero. Now, Guerrero did start where Endo is on this list most of the time while Costa was here before he slid on over to the right-hand side, and we brought in Magno, but we know all about that. So it was Shavlina in goal, a back 4 of Guest, Bichiabu, Akahoman, and Fresneda, a midfield 3 of Ross, Morales, and Burford. No surprises there. Endo and Costa on the wings with Emmanuel Omega up top. His 708 rating was not the highest on the team. No. That, I believe, belonged to Alex Guest. It did, with a 7.2. He was also the fans player of the season and the young player of the season. Moutinho, as we already mentioned, the signing of the season. Emmanuel Omega, 14 goals in the Premier League, 10 assists for Marco Morales. Alex Guest picking up 5 Man of the Match awards. I think Omega had the same number as well. Highest transfer fee ever paid, $58 million for Omega. We covered that previously. Highest fee ever received. We've also touched on that in the previous episode. That went to the $72.09 million we got for Melvin Costa. And we did not win anything in the competition, but Nick Bottom did manage to eke out the September Manager of the Month award. And yeah, we are a member of the Greek Hall of Fame. We've already taken a look at the manager timeline. One thing added on. Our upward progress continued as we improved to a top half finish. Came in 4th. We made Europe. That's a little bit better than top half. And we'll wrap things up with 3 new players being added into Fulham immortality. Marvin Akahoma and Antonio Blanco, and Nicolas Shavlina selected to be a part of Fulham's proud history. The only thing left to do is put together a team that can do it all again next year. We'll be back with the summer transfer window as we prepare for season number 5 at Fulham Football Club. We're going to be going to South Africa for our training camp. Figured we'd go somewhere a little more exotic. It was going to be either there or Singapore. I think we'll get in less trouble in South Africa. Thank you very much. I know you've already hit like on the bottom of the video. If you have not, please do so now. Also, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And we will see you back for our first Champions League campaign with Fulham Football Club. Until then, bye-bye.